2023 is in the books, and it is time to look forward to 2024 when I talk about my 10 most anticipated releases for January 2024. Let's do it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, I am here to go over my 10 most anticipated titles, Blu-ray and 4K titles for January 2024. It is hard to believe that a new year is already upon us. And when I started to look at January 2024, on the surface, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of stuff going on because there's not a lot of new big movie exclusives and all that kind of stuff, because new movies, a lot of stuff got delayed last year. So I think in the first few months, we're going to be seeing not so many like new films come out on 4K and Blu-ray with tons of exclusives and stuff like that. We're really going to have to rely on these boutique labels. So you're going to be seeing a lot of boutique stuff. You're going to be seeing a lot of overseas stuff in my 10 most anticipated here today. Some stuff that got delayed. But there's still tons of exciting stuff coming out, guys. Just not as much from the studios. It's more reliant on the boutique labels. So before we get into it though, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about physical media on this channel, Blu-rays, 4Ks, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day. If you haven't ever checked out a video here, this is your first time joining me here at Mid-Level Media, make it your New Year's resolution to hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. And I also want to point out real quick that this is my list. These are the movies that I am the most looking forward to. They're not necessarily the most noteworthy titles that are coming out in January. We got my 10 most anticipated. I've got some honorable mentions. I actually have quite a few honorable mentions, and then I got some other notable titles that are coming out that maybe you're excited about, but I am not so much excited about. And like always, I'm not going to be able to cover every single title that's coming out in January. I usually do that every single Monday on the Physical Media Report. So if there's a title that you're looking forward to that I didn't mention here today, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know your top 5 most anticipated, your top 10, your top 15, your top 20, if you're looking forward to it, in that comment section below. That's what the comment section is for. I love hearing about what everybody else is looking forward to. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. My first most anticipated, there goes my hero. You know I had to talk about Varsity Blues coming to 4K from Paramount on January the 9th. So I don't have anything I'm excited about in the first week. The first week's kind of dead. But January the 9th, the second week of January, we are getting Varsity Blues on 4K for $25.99. I wish there was some kind of like really nice steelbook for this as well, but I can't be too greedy. I'm just happy that we're getting a movie like this on 4K. These teen movies from the late 90s. This is more of a drama, I would say, but it's also kind of falls into the teen movie category as well. I'm hoping this opens the door for movies like American Pie, She's All That. Like, I would love to start, just can't hardly wait. I would love to start getting some of these titles on 4K. So I cannot wait to watch this one in 4K. This is one of my favorite movies for me growing up. Like, I used to watch this movie all the time. I Don't Want Your Life. James Vanderbeek's fantastic. We got the late great Paul Walker, rest in peace, is in this movie. He's fantastic. Amy Smart is in this film. Great movie. If you haven't seen Varsity Blues, I highly recommend picking up this 4K, checking it out for the first time, and it's a great movie, so I can't wait to see what the transfer looks like. That is my first most anticipated. Coming at number 2, we're going to talk about a title over in the UK, and that is Mean Streets coming to 4K. This is the second time this movie's hit 4K from Second Sight on January the 15th. So like I said, this is a UK exclusive. It's going for $54.99 currently on Diabolic. You can also import this from the Second Sight website as well. But look, I bought Mean Streets on 4K from Criterion. I have yet to watch it, but I did buy it because I did want both versions. I love this movie, but there was no way that I was going to set out this Second Sight release because I like I said, I love this film, and this is a nice big chunky box set that just looks incredible. And if you know anything about Second Sight, they always do incredible work with their restorations, and I believe that this has special features that the Criterion doesn't, and the Criterion has special features that the Second Sight one doesn't. So I had to get both versions, and like I said, I love this movie. I'm excited to get this Second Sight edition on January the 15th. Now, moving into my number 3 most anticipated is a movie that I am ashamed to say. I'm an action fan, guys. I am an action fan, but I have not seen one of the, what some people would say is the best action film of the 21st century, and that is The Raid. Coming out on 4K. It's getting a nice 4K steelbook. No slipcover option. It's just the steelbook. Coming out from Sony on January the 16th for $44.99 is the price point on Amazon right now. I think it's a little bit cheaper if you look at Grindhouse and Diabolic and Orbit, but it's $45.99 currently on Amazon. So that is full SRP though right now, and usually what Amazon does is they lower that price just a couple of weeks before it comes out. Sometimes it's sooner, so I'm kind of worried that it's not going to lower, but hopefully it does lower, because if it doesn't, I am not going to pay $46 for a steelbook. I'll set it out and wait till it lowers in price, or they do a slipcover version at some point. But I do want this. I do want to watch this film for the first time in 4K, because I know it's going to look fantastic. This is a nice action film. I know it's got some great choreography, cinematography, and I know it's going to look great in 4K. So, and Sony's doing it. So that's another reason why I know it's going to look fantastic in 4K. And I want my first viewing experience to be in 4K. I just need that price to come down just a little bit. So hopefully it does to about $30, $32. And then I'll pre-order this thing, no problem. But as it stands, I'm confident Amazon will lower the price, and that is my third most anticipated. And getting into my fourth most anticipated is a box set release that was supposed to come out in November, but now that it's coming out in January, my anticipation is even more now, and that is the Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe Collection. This is an 11-film box set from all the films from the Coffin Joe director, which I'm not familiar with at all. I think he's a Brazilian director. This is coming out from Arrow Video, January the 16th. $139.99 is the price point for this. And like I said, there is 11 films in this set on Blu-ray, and Arrow Video has just been doing some great work. They pushed this thing back because it wasn't ready. So I applaud that. Anytime a boutique label, they know something's not ready, instead of just pushing it out with problems, they delay it. I think that's great. So the Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe Collection got delayed a full 2 months, but I am still excited and anticipating this box set release. Will I watch all 11 films in January? Probably not, but I'll at least check out a couple, and I'll unbox this thing and see what the packaging's like. And I can't wait, guys. Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe. I keep wanting to say Joe Coffin, but it's Coffin Joe. Are you looking forward to this set? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, coming in at my number 5 is a movie that I'll admit right now, it's not the best movie. I do remember watching this film as a kid and thinking to myself, this isn't great, but I'm just so happy to have these characters in live action form. And that is the Super Mario Brothers 4K coming out from Umbrella Entertainment on January the 17th. Now, this thing is getting multiple editions. I pre-ordered the Trust the Fungus edition from Umbrella, so I am very excited to get this thing in. It's got tons of booklets and just all kinds of stuff, postcards and cards and all kinds of additives and bonus materials in this set, and I cannot wait to get it. But yeah, you have the Trust the Fungus edition. That thing is going for $100 right now on the Umbrella website. I'll try to link as much of this stuff down below in the description, guys. There is a regular 4K collector's edition, which is just a nice little chunky case, like an Arrow Video style case, that is going for 75 bucks. There's also a regular 4K, just the regular 4K edition, for 42 bucks, and there's a regular Blu-ray version for 35 bucks as well. And you're getting multiple cuts and all kinds of new special features here. Umbrella is really doing the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993 justice with this release. So I'm sure we're going to hear about all kinds of stuff that went on behind the scenes, the making of this, and I cannot wait to dive into all of it, because this movie was kind of a disaster when it came out. I think critically it was a disaster. Financially, it was a disaster. I think it gained some legs when it was released on home video, but I don't know. I have fond memories of watching the movie, even though I knew it wasn't the best when I watched it when I was like 7 or 8, but I was such a fan of the Mario games. I was just excited to have these characters in live action. John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, they're chewing up the scenery as these characters in this movie. Dustin Hoffman is the villain, which he was kind of typecasted as the villain, but he's playing Bowser in this. Just a human character. He's not dressed up like a dinosaur or anything, but I always thought it was cool to see Yoshi in live action, even though it looked nothing like Yoshi. But I'm just excited to dive into this movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Probably like cable, like 15, 20 years ago is the last time I watched this film. I know we had it on VHS when I was a kid, but the Super Mario Brothers 4K Trust the Fungus edition is my 5th most anticipated. Are you looking forward to Super Mario Brothers in 4K though? Let me know in that comment section below. We also have another title. There's a lot of titles that were delayed that are my most anticipated for January, I'm noticing. But my number 6 is High Tension, coming out on 4K from Second Sight on January the 22nd from the UK, $54.99 for this edition. So I love this movie. I watched it for the first time about 5 years ago and just fell in love with it. It's so freaking cool. And I've been looking forward to this one since it was announced, I think in early October, maybe late September, this thing was announced. But I was so happy that Second Sight announced a 4K edition of this because it's another incredible box set and it's got booklets and it's going to look great, I'm sure, because Second Sight's doing it. It's going to have a lot of new special features. And I'm just excited that this movie is getting this kind of treatment. So High Tension on 4K, another title that was delayed. It was supposed to come out in December, but I'm happy that they delayed it if there was issues with it. And now hopefully we're getting a nice definitive edition coming out on January the 22nd. So yeah, very excited for that one. Also coming in at number 7, guys, from Kino Lorber, It's Not a Tumor, is Kindergarten Cop. And this is not the first Arnold Schwarzenegger 4K that we're going to talk about here today, but Kindergarten Cop comes out on 4K from Kino Lorber on January the 23rd for $27.99. So this is one that I definitely need to get on pre-ordering from the the Kino Lorber website. Of course, you can do that. You can pre-order from Amazon, but it's definitely easier, I think, to pre-order from Kino Lorber, and you're going to get it in closer to the time that it comes out. So that's just a little tip when you're ordering Kino Lorber stuff. But yeah, Kindergarten Cop, this is a classic from my childhood. I've loved this movie since it came out. I've watched it since it came out. I'm pretty sure I was like 6 or 7 when I watched this film. And this was always one of my favorite Arnold movies. I would watch T2 and I would watch Kindergarten Cop. And those two were like my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies growing up. And then I would discover, Predator and Terminator and all the other Arnold movies, Last Action Hero later on. But the movies I grew up with and I loved with everything in me was Kindergarten Cop and Terminator 2, and I'm happy to get Kindergarten Cop on 4K from Kino Lorber, a label that cares about their restorations. I just reviewed Face Off. It was fantastic, so I'm excited to see what this one looks like. There's a lot of good action in this film that I think will look great, but I just love it. I love having these classics from my childhood on 4K. Is Kindergarten Cop the most visually stunning movie of all time? Probably not, but I want it on 4K, and that's all that matters. And Kino Lorber thought it would sell enough to put out on 4K, so I'm excited to get it, guys. That comes out on January 23rd. And coming in at number 8 is another movie I've been watching since I was a kid, and that is Stephen King's Thinner is getting a Blu-ray release from Screen Factory on January the 23rd for $36.98, another price point that's full SRP on Amazon right now. So I'm hoping this lowers down by the time this comes out because I really don't want to pay $37 for a Blu-ray release of this film. So yeah, I remember being scared to death of this movie when it came out. Like, it really freaked me out. I guess just the thought of somebody that was losing weight and they couldn't stop losing weight was just kind of terrifying to me. I don't know why. And then the gypsy stuff, and then the ending of the movie was always like super unsettling to me. But yeah, Thinner on Blu-ray. This is another one I haven't seen for a while, but I used to watch and enjoy this one a lot when I was a kid. And I also read the book as well. So I am excited for Thinner on Blu-ray. I'm excited for the new special features because I believe that Screen Factory is doing new special features with this, because this has got a Blu-ray before, I think, from Olive Film, so it's not the first time on Blu-ray. So I'm really looking forward to the new transfer that Screen Factory is doing, but also the new features that are involved here, because I don't think this thing has really gotten any extensive features before. But yeah, Thinner on Blu-ray, guys. Looking forward to it. That's my 8th most anticipated. Coming in at number 9, guys, I'm gonna group together 2 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies here, and that is the Conan Chronicles 4K set coming out from Arrow Video on January the 30th for $60. I think the price point is lowered a little bit on Amazon right now to $54, but this includes both Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer in one box set release. Now, these have separate releases as well if you want to get them separately, but it's going to be cheaper if you get them in the bundle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching both of these movies for the first time. I didn't grow up with these films. These are classic Arnold films, some of his first movies. I'm definitely excited to check both of these out. And from what I've seen, I've already seen some images on Twitter. Some people leaked some images of these movies on 4K and how they look compared to the Blu-ray, and these transfers look incredible. So I cannot wait to check out how great these movies look in 4K, because Arrow Video just does some of the best work in 4K. So I'm super excited to check both these films out on 4K, and they come out on January the 30th. We also have coming in at number 10 is the Boogans coming out on 4K from Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber's doing a lot of good stuff in January, but the Boogans is coming out on 4K from Kino Lorber on on January the 30th for $39.99. Again, I'm going to get this off of the Kino Lorber website because I'm sure it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about the Boogans on 4K. I've never seen it. It's a horror film. It's a monster creature feature film, I imagine. And I'm excited to check it out on 4K for the first time from Kino Lorber on January the 30th. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's my 10 most anticipated. Let's go ahead and jump into some of my honorable mentions here real quick. I've got Suitable Flesh coming out on Blu-ray from RLJE on January the 9th for $14.98. I like the RLJE titles. They're nice value Blu-ray titles that don't break the bank. And I've heard some good things about this movie. It's got Heather Graham in it. So I think Barbara Crampton as well is in this film. So why wouldn't I want to watch a film with Heather Graham? Come on, guys. But yeah, Suitable Flesh, heard some good things about it, so I do want to pick up this Blu-ray and check it out. I'm also excited to get Cutting Class on 4K from MVD Rewind as a part of their Laser Vision line. I think this is number 4 in that line. This is coming out on January the 16th for $39.99, and there's also a Blu-ray MVD Rewind version of this as well. This is a movie that I think it's some kind of like cult high school movie from the 80s. It has Brad Pitt in it. I actually have the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray of this film, and I haven't watched it, but I want my first viewing experience to be that 4K, so I will watch this 4K. That's definitely an honorable mention. We also got Audition coming out on Blu-ray from Umbrella for January the 17th. Umbrella is really killing it this month for sure. Definitely excited to check that one out. I've actually never seen that movie and heard some crazy things about it. We got Joe's Apartment coming out on Blu-ray. I'm very excited for this. I loved this movie when I was a kid. This is coming out on Blu-ray for the first time from Warner Archive, coming out on January the 30th. I'm pretty sure I made a video like 2 years ago talking about how I wanted Warner Brothers to do Joe's Apartment, and I think I referenced the Warner Archive line could be the ones to do it. So I kind of predicted the future a little bit. You can go back and check. I think I talked about Joe's Apartment before. But yeah, Warner Archive, I'm definitely excited. I hope they do more stuff like this. I would love to see Warner Archive do The Stupids with Tom Arnold. Like, that would be an incredible release from Warner Archive. They've got some other stuff as well, but very excited to check this one out. We got Carrie getting a 4K big box set release from Arrow Video on January the 22nd for $34.99. This almost made my 10 most anticipated, but I've already seen Carrie on 4K. I don't need to see it again. I just want this box set just for the collection, just for the packaging. I love Carrie. It's one of my favorite horror films, and I want a nice box set release of this. I'm still heads or tails on it if I'll actually get it, if funds allow, but I do love this movie, and I do want this big box set edition, so I'll probably get it, and that comes out on January the 22nd. We also got Peeping Tom getting a 4K over in the UK from Studio Canal on January the 29th for $27.99. This movie is cited as one of the first, if not the first, slasher film. So I do want to check this one out because I've heard some really good things about it. And Studio Canal, you know, they usually do some good work on 4K. So, and I don't really import stuff from them a lot. I feel like this one may get a release over here in the States because Studio Canal 4Ks usually do. So maybe I'll hold out for that, or maybe I'll just go ahead and jump into it. So yeah, I'm just kind of conflicted on it. That's why it's in honorable mentions, guys. But Silent Nights is getting a 4K Walmart Steelbook from Lionsgate on January the 30th for $29.99. Walmart is really ramping up with the Steelbooks in 2024. And this is the first Lionsgate slipcover exclusive edition that is coming out at Walmart in 2024. And this thing, like I said, is going to be $29.99. It's also getting a Blu-ray edition, standalone Blu-ray edition for $19.96. Now, haven't heard the best things about this film. I actually had some people comment, said this movie is actually pretty good. This is a John Woo movie. I do love John Woo as a director. So I am going to pick this one up probably, but I'm not the most excited to check out the movie. I'm more or less just excited to get this Steelbook with the nice artwork. So that's why it's an honorable mention. But yeah, Silent Night getting the 4K Walmart Steelbook on January the 30th. And lastly, coming in my honorable mentions, I told you I had a lot of honorable mentions. We got Funeral Home getting a Scream Factory release on January the 30th for $39.96. I would be more excited for this if the price was lower, but you got to lower some of those prices, Amazon. Funeral Home, yeah, I've heard some good things about this movie. I think it's its first time on Blu-ray, and there's a lot of new good special features here, and this thing's got a slipcover. I'm liking that Scream Factory is getting back into doing regular Blu-ray collector's editions with slipcovers. That's nice. That's refreshing to see because they should have had it on Dr. Giggles and a couple of other stuff they did last year as well. I think Bless the Child probably should have had a slipcover. So I'm glad to see that Scream Factory is getting back into collector's editions Blu-rays. Yeah, Funeral Home, heard some good things about it. Got a lot of new special features, so definitely excited to check that one out. We also have some other titles coming out this month. The Holdovers on Blu-ray. I really want to watch this movie, but I'm not going to pay $23 for it on Blu-ray because this thing is going on Peacock, I think, this weekend. So I'm going to check it out on Peacock. If it's good, I'll pick it up later on in a sale. But this thing comes out from Universal January the 2nd for $29.95. I'm sure you're going to be seeing a lot of people pick up the Holdovers because it's pretty much the only title that's coming out in the first week of January. We also got Blood Simple coming out on 4K from Criterion on January the 9th for $34.99. I love this movie, but I got the Criterion Blu-ray and I don't need to pick this one up right away. I'll probably get this in a sale because, like I said, I do love this movie. We also have The Last Castle coming out on 4K from Kino Lorber on January the 23rd for $27.99. This is a movie I've heard some good things about, but I don't need it right away. I can wait for the Kino Lorber sale because I'm sure in March or April or maybe the summer, this thing will be down to like $17.99 and I can pick it up then. We also got Trainspotting coming out on 4K from Criterion on January the 30th for $40.08. This thing's a little bit more than the usual Criterion title, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's got some extra discs or something, but I do want this 4K, but again, I can wait till the Criterion sale and pick this one up. And lastly, Thanksgiving is coming out on Blu-ray from Sony on January the 30th for $24.99. So pretty much the same as I said for the Holdovers. This is a new movie and I don't really want to pick this up on Blu-ray for $24.99, especially when this is a hot horror title and I know that this thing's going to get a re-release probably in 4K somewhere down the line. So I'll just wait for the 4K or the special collector's edition steelbook or whatever Sony's going to put out later on down the line. I can watch this movie when they put it on Peacock or Paramount Plus or whatever they're going to put it on, because they'll put it on a streaming service at some point. I can wait on it. I can wait all the way till next year, Thanksgiving, to watch this movie. I don't need to watch it right away. So there you have it, guys. That is my 10 most anticipated titles that are coming out in the month of January. Also some honorable mentions, some other titles as well. I try to do an entire preview of the month here, but like I said, I'm not going to be able to cover every single title. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, in the comment section below, let me know what you're looking forward to in the month of January 2024. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, follow me on all my social media accounts down below in the description, and turn on those bell notifications for all future videos in 2024. God, I can't believe we're already there, guys. And I'll see you next time.